Our very first SPS corals are put into this little Red Sea Max Nano. An update on our little tail spot blenny. Has the cyanobacteria made a reappearance? And the Gems of Reefing British Isles edition 2021. Don't miss it. Get your brew on and let's roll those titles. As you can see from the smile on my face, we have got our very first SPS corals. Now, I see this as a major milestone in the reefing journey, and if you are thinking about getting your first SPS corals, stay tuned and see how we get on in this particular video. Now, when you take part in your little reefing journey, there's certain milestones that you're just never gonna forget. The first one is getting your tank and picking up your tank and setting it up. You'll never forget that moment when you get your first reef tank, or even a replacement reef tank, an upgrade reef tank, set it all up, set the equipment up. It is super exciting just to see it. Then you get the moment where you start to put the sand and the aquascape in and the water in, and again, that's a really great moment in your little tank's journey. Then you get your first fish and your first corals, and that is unforgettable, and you're always going to remember your first fish and your first corals. Now, I think this is another moment in your reefing history journeys where you're never going to forget, and that's when you add your very first SPS corals, your small polyp stony corals. Now, in the reefing world, these are the most hard to keep, challenging corals for your reef tank, and your reef tank does need to be somewhat stable and mature to actually keep these wonderful, beautiful corals actually alive. So my little Red Sea Max Nano is 7 months old, and I thought it was just the time, and I don't know why, I just feel it is, to get some SPS corals in. Now, some of you watching this video will have put your SPS corals in after 1 or 2 months, and some of you will be watching it go, no, you need to wait for a year or two until you start taking on SPS corals. But what's the worst that can happen? How hard can it be? Well, I'm going to find out, and it probably is pretty tricky, but I feel at 7 months this tank has demonstrated in the last 2 months stability. And for SPS corals to be successful, there's 3 major things that need to be stable. The temperature, and I've got my D&D, my trusted D&D controller that's kept the temperature around about 25.5 degrees. Salinity, and I've got my HANA salinity checker. Yeah, I know I don't always calibrate it, but the salinity in this tank has been rock solid at 1.024 SG, specific gravity, so that is pretty good. The last one is alkalinity. Now, my little Red Sea Max Nano, as you know, has a doser, so I actually dose small amounts, 3.8 milliliters of alkalinity fluid from the Red Sea Foundation Elements every single day, and that has kept my alkalinity also rock solid between 8.5 and 8.8 parts per million. So I'm really happy with that. Now, obviously it's harder in the Nano to keep those parameters stable, but they're all really good signs. I also, before delving in, have 2 power heads on the return pump, so this tank has full of flow, and it's really important to have random, intermittent, turbulent flow if you've got your SPS corals. So we've got that, so that's a tick. And also, I upgraded the lighting from the start, and I run the Radian Gen 5 blue on the top of this little Red Sea Max Nano. And SPS corals need really good quality lighting. Now, to be honest, most lighting, because technology's moved on and things are really good at the moment, most lighting will grow your SPS corals, but I know for sure this is has a proven record in other people's tanks to grow SPS corals, the Radian Gen 5 Pro. So we went online, we went to a trusted seller of mine, which is Prestige Reef. The customer service is always brilliant, and I get to see through his YouTube channel what he does with his corals in terms of keeping them, acclimating them, and getting them ready for customers. So I've got a lot of trust in this seller, and I think that's important before you start to put anything in your tank. So let's take a look when these SPS arrived on Thursday. Once they've been dipped, you always know I use the Coral RX. I'm going to dip them, I'm going to attach them to the scape with a little bit, tiny bit of this instant coral gum. So there's the Montipora digitata. This is what it's going to look like. That looks like a bit of a wow coral, so I'm super excited to get that one in. The next one I've got is, I believe this one is a light pink Millipora. Now at the moment it's very brown because of the stress of the journey, but that is a light pink, a light pink Millipora. Now that does look absolutely stunning. One of my first choices of SPS was trying to get some purple into the tank, and that is what that one is going to do. So again, it's a high care level coral. I love how they're like little trees. I do like the branching nature of them. So it's a high level care coral. It likes strong intermittent flow, loves high lighting and peaceful. So again, this one can be a bit nearer to the power head on the top of the scape. The third one I think is a little bit risky. Out of all three of these, this is the one that I think is a big risk, but again, I don't know which SPS my tank's going to cope well with yet, so we'll go with this. This one is one that you probably wouldn't have as your first SPS, but we're going to give it a go. Everything else we've given a go so far, so we'll give it a go. It is a Rainbow Acropora, this one here, which I know is quite a very difficult. People say Acropora are the last corals that you should ever attempt to grow, but we'll see how we get on with it. Last one, I don't know the name of this one. I'm just trying to find the picture of what it looks like. It is obviously another SPS coral. I think it might be another Acropora coral, but I really don't know. Again, I talked about pink and purple. That is that coral there, so I think it's another one of those Acroporas, tricky corals to grow, but I'm so excited for this. I've always wanted sticks at the top of the reef because I just think it looks more authentic as a coral reef when you've got the kind of flow that you get with your LPS and then the sticks right at the top. So I'm super excited. I'm going to get these corals into the tank, and then we'll have a little look in the next couple of days to see how they're getting on, and hopefully they start to colour up as they get into the tank. But SPS journey is underway. So here you have it. This is 2 days after putting the SPS corals, so this is Saturday morning. There's no filters, and I have actually changed, I don't know if I mentioned this on the live stream, I've actually changed the setting of the radiant light to the AB plus setting. So I normally run the LPS template. I'm now running the AB plus template, which is for the mixed coral, softies, LPS and SPS. So you can see I've got my little softy corner, got some zoas in here, got some mushrooms around that side, got some nice little softies, got quite a few LPS, my favourites, these torches, these 3 torches and the hammer. And we also have the SPS there. So what have we got? All 3, you're probably thinking, why has he gone for kind of high-end SPS for his first little testers, and why has he gone for 4? Well, I don't know which ones are going to be good for my tank. I don't know which ones are going to like the conditions, so I just thought, right, well, let's just dive straight in and get a range of SPS from easy to difficult and see how they get on, really. They're only 1-inch frags, so that's perfect for this little nano because I don't want anything to grow too quickly, and also they don't cost too much if I kill them, so hopefully I don't. But the one that's settled in the quickest is this Montipora digitata here, the bubble gum. You can see it there popping with colours. We've got a spectrum already of reds and greens and a little bit of new, well, it looks like new growth already showing on the top, so it's nice and white, which is good. The second one that's doing pretty well is the pink Millipora, which is just at the back there. The pink Millipora, I'll try and give you some zoomed in pictures as well. That's really showing good signs. It's liking it there next to the flow. settled in well. The third one, which is the nearest one to us here, just on this little outcrop, is the Acropora tenuis rainbow. Now that is a really tricky coral to get going, but I can see that there's kind of a bit of polyp extension on there, and it's starting to colour up now. Even though it's been 2 days, it's starting to get a little bit of colour. The one that's showing least signs of enjoying itself in here is this other here on this edge here, which I don't know if it's just a bit too close to the J-bow, which is another Acropora coral. That does still look quite pale in colour, and it's not really showing too much activity. But we'll see how it gets on. I know that some of these SPS can take up to a week before they start to settle in, because they are really challenging to grow. I took the frag plugs off and I have gummed them down with some Tunzi coral gum. I can move them off if I need to, so it's not a problem, but that's what I did. So there they are, that's them in position. And that's what the tank is looking like. I am super happy with this Red Sea Max Nano. It definitely was the right choice for me as a beginner tank. Everything just seems to be falling into place. The skimmer is super efficient at removing the nitrates, and it is, for any beginner, just a kind of out of the box reef tank. It is pretty good. You cannot go wrong with it. So just give you a little update on our tail spot Blenny. He's round here. There he is, look. He's a little Bobby Dazzler, he is. He's a bit camera shy at the moment, and you notice he's trying to change his colour a little bit. So when they're a bit scared or a bit frightened, they do try and camouflage themselves into the rock. So he's getting a little bit worried about the camera, but he's doing really well. The clowns, our two clownfish pair, mocha clownfish, they kind of just leave him alone to get on with his day, and he's thriving. He eats probiotics pellets, so he eats those really well, and yeah, he's had a perfect start. One coral that I've been really surprised with is the rainbow Trachophilia here. Now it used to sit at the front here in the corner, but it's just got so large that I've had to move it to the back. I didn't realise how large these Trachophilia corals can actually get. And I think I may have made a mistake by putting one in this little Red Sea Max Nano, but we'll see how we go. And if we get the upgrade, to the 400, then that coral will certainly not be struggling for space in there. So it looks good, it's awesome for colour, but it might just be a coral that's a bit too big for a Red Sea Max Nano. And I do have obviously quite a large aquascape in there as well. It takes up quite a bit of room. So there it is. We're on the journey with SPS. The tank is looking super healthy. Oh, on the cyanobacteria, there is no signs of the cyanobacteria at the moment. It hasn't returned, so that is super happy with that. But if it does, yeah, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with the problems as they arise. There's the rainbow. There we go. The rainbow chalice is also looking really nice and starting to base out. So there you have it. That is the reef at this moment with the SPS on there right at the top. That is gonna look absolutely awesome when that branches out and that colour fills that space. It's just gonna look incredible. I'm super happy with how it is at the moment. Right, let's go back and let's have a little chat about the Reefing map 2021. So here we have the Gems of Reefing 2021, created by Instagram followers and YouTube community. If you haven't checked this out, there is a link just in the description of this video. Take a look at this. This is all the LFS aquarium attractions and coral suppliers in the UK that have been recommended by the people who live in those areas, who visit those establishments and can actually say how good they are. Now we've got a mixture across Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, all nominated. There are 41 nominations here. Every single nomination that was put in onto the Google form by the community of reefing in the UK have all made it to the map. There has been a couple of people who have said to me, oh, ours is not on, There's some really good LFS that you've missed. So I think there's one in Taunton, a really good LFS down there. So what we're going to do is we're going to review this in the next couple of months, and you can get your nominations back in and add it to the Reefing map. So as lockdown has ended and we're all allowed to go out and about a bit more, yeah, go and have a look, go and check out these places, because these are the places that people have recommended. So on the left hand column here, reefing hobbyists. So this is for us diehard reefing fans, where you can go and collect your corals, you can go and collect your dry goods, and you can obviously visit really on your own, because there might be either small establishments or quite specialist reefing establishments. The ones on the right is for all the family, okay? So there may be stuff for kids to do there might be children's play sections, there might be lots of different life there that the kids can take a look at, or there might be actual marine aquarium attractions nationally, so check those out as well. The Reefing map, as I say, is available in the link, so get out and about. If you do visit any of these places, then just let me know on Instagram what you thought of them, and how your experience was of these different places. We're going to try and get out and about. I say we, myself, and hopefully Bearded Reef, Fish Palace and Mogsys trying to get out to some of these as well later in the year. So that is a super exciting development. And if you are from overseas, if you're watching this from overseas and you're coming to visit the UK, well, get this map downloaded so that you can actually see where to go and visit some of these stunning LFS gems of the British Isles 2021. Link in the description, download it, and yeah, let me know all the fun that you're having with this little map. Our SPS journey is underway, and this big smile means I'm so happy with this milestone. I can't honestly wait to see what this tank looks like in 1 year's time when it grows out and starts to fill out. Now, we haven't finished coral shopping just yet. I'm going to add maybe about another 5 different corals. I want a few more SPS if these are successful. There's a couple of LPS that I'd like. I'd love a Scully. I'd also love a couple more torches in there as well. So we haven't finished, but we're getting there in terms of stocking of the corals. Now, if you want to keep up with the more day-to-day stuff of the reef, go and check us out on Instagram, Jay's Real Reef UK, where I'll post daily pictures. And I wanted to post a daily picture today, but I hadn't told everybody about the SPS, and I didn't want people to go, oh, you've got some new corals, before I put the video out. But yes, I can now post some pictures of the tank. Now I've given you this quick update. So the live stream, thanks for everybody who joined us on the live stream last night. We had such fun with all you guys and girls who joined the live stream. Check it out, it's available on Bearded Reef's channel. There's a link in the description if you missed it, because you're in a beer garden or you're having some fun elsewhere with family, friends or whatever. Next week is a really special edition. We are heading over to Fish Palace's YouTube channel. Yep, Fish Palace, click the link in the description. Go now, set the reminder, and I challenge you to beat Gao Gao to the live stream. He's always first in there. Challenge you to beat him. Anyway, it's on Fish Palace, and our special guest, hopefully, is the one and only, you know him as Reef Dork on Reef Dork's channel. Yeah, we're hopefully going to have a chat with him. I am super excited. He's another person who got me into this hobby, and I've learned so much from him, and I can't wait to tap into his knowledge, and hopefully he can give me a bit more help with this SPS coral. So go and check it out on Instagram. Right, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all your comments, support, love, banter, whatever it is, we don't mind. Yeah, it all helps and it's all good fun. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely weekend. Enjoy your reef tanks. Thank you so much, and you guys and girls, take care. Bye bye.